The Sea Peoples. I hope you enjoy my presentation and find it interesting. I picked the Sea Peoples because history and geography are my favorite subjects, and I find it very interesting. I picked a part of history that I'd never heard of before and is not very well known. What weapons did they have? They had bronze-tipped spears, bronze swords, and wooden shields and bows and arrows. They wore different kinds of helmets, some with feathers and some with horns. Were they religious? They probably had multiple religions because they were a loose confederation of sea raiders. Where did they come from? They probably were from the Eastern Mediterranean, but some scholars think they might have even come from France and Spain in the West. When were they around? They were around 1200 BC. This map shows you the migrations and attacks of the Sea Peoples at 1200 BC. What people did they destroy? They destroyed the Hittites, the Etruscans, the Minoans, and greatly decreased the Egyptians. What language did they speak? We don't really know the languages they spoke, but some people think they came from Crete, which would mean they spoke Mycenaean Greek or Aetio-Cretan, which is a combination of Crete and Etruscan. Who survived them? The Egyptians were the only people who survived the Sea Peoples. What did they wear? The Sea Peoples were famous for their hats. We know about this because of the Egyptian carvings, like the one in this slide. What ships did they have? The Sea Peoples' ships were very similar of the other ships in the Mediterranean. They were made out of wood and had sails and oars. What happened to them? One reference of the Sea People dates back to the 13th century BC, in the reign of Egyptian pharaoh Merenptah, who claimed to have killed 6,000 of the Sea People after they teamed up with the Libyans. An even more detailed account comes from King Ramses III. He fought many wars against the Sea People around 1170 BC. One temple describes the Sea Peoples moving south through the Eastern Mediterranean. They laid waste to Turkey, Syria, Cyprus, and the Levant. Some of Ramses' records say they were a confederation of tribes, including the Sherdun, Peliset, Denyen, Shekelesh, and others. Extra facts. Meanwhile, they are often identified as the Philistines of the Bible. The opinions differentiate. Some historians believe they were displaced by their homelands because of famine or natural disasters. The Sea People are considered the main cause of the collapse of the Bronze Age. No one knows the nationality of the Sea People because the Egyptians only described them in war. The Egyptians never wrote down what sea and islands they came from. They just said they came from the sea in their ships. The way Ramses won against the Sea People was because in the Battle of the Delta, he let the Sea People's ships into the mouth of the Nile, where he had a small fleet waiting. They then sunk the Sea People's ships. The survivors joined the army and some served as his elite bodyguards. The only Sea Peoples accounted for in this battle were the Sherduns. Conclusion. This presentation was about the ancient pirates of the Mediterranean known as the Sea Peoples. They remain one of the great mysteries of the ancient world. Thank you to my dad for helping me a bit with the facts and the filming, and Mum for the slides.